Evening, everybody. It is 5:45 on this Wednesday, the 6th of September, and this is your closing comment. It is video 1899. Um, I want to mention that on tonight's Daily Note, you will find a link to the video that I did midday today on our silver and the SPXS trade, as well as a new video from a new 2 minutes with Suki on Tellurian. Um, I also want to say that some of these idiots today were asking, we're talking about the market and couldn't figure out why. The news, which hasn't really changed much, but has a couple of little additions to it, caused today's downdraft? And the answer is simple: the weight of the evidence, the preponderance of evidence that has come out, one on top of the next, on top of the next. And when I hear some of these jackasses talk um, about the fact that Apple was down 3% today on the overnight news out of China, not using the iPhones or any iPhones in their work, um, you know, I just can't get behind it. They talk about how, it's so overvalued, and it's only overvalued today because of this news. I mean, where have they been for the last 2 months when the stock has had a tremendous run to the upside? Okay, enough said about that. Um, Chart on the screen is the oil, and remarkably, it has continued with a higher high, higher low again today. However, I do have to warn you, the high here was 88.08, and yesterday's high was 88.07. So while technically true, it certainly wasn't anything like what we saw on the way up. I'll also want to mention that technically, looking at this over the last 9 months, we had a move basically from about 65 to about 85. So that's $20. Then we had a move from 85 down to 77 and change. That's about a 1/3 decline that it gave up from this run, which is actually pretty impressive. And now we've broken out. We broke past this downtrend line that looks a little bit more obvious when you start to look at a little longer term weekly chart. This entire week is actually above the line. So, unless we get up into the 92, 91 to 94 range in here, I'm going to say that there's still room to run here. Um, Relative strength is higher, not overbought yet. MACD is strong, rolling back to the upside. Volume is not bad. Uh, and so, that's what I'm seeing in the oil. I've been bullish the entire time. Okay, we also took a profit on half of the SPXS. We bought them between 28 and 30 cents yesterday. We sold them today at 64 cents, only half. So we now have no money in the trade. They run till Friday. And, uh, you know, we could have another day tomorrow just like today. There was a rally after the Fed Beige Book information came out, but it didn't last, and we closed pretty much around mid range um, on the futures. So there you go. The oil was up 85 cents. Nat gas was down 7 cents. We had the gold down 8.40, the silver down 37 cents. Now we bought the silver today. The AGQ, which is the silver times 2, I believe. I don't really remember what it actually is. It's the ProShares Ultra. So I believe that's a times 2. We paid between 40 and 60 cents for them. Most people paid exactly 50 cents. It was a limit order that I put out there. We had a couple of people who didn't see the order until a little bit later when it had gone up as high as 60 bid, offered at 70, and then came all the way back down to 40 cents. So some of them lucked out. On the earnings front, yesterday, I just want to mention this one. We had Zscaler. Now, that stock was as high as 173.73 on the double beat. However, today it gave it all back and more. Actually closed 158.48, down 426 or 2.6%. That really wasn't overwhelming on a day by day, but what also happened there yesterday is that even after we had that move to the upside, we actually only finished mid range. So nowhere near that high, but still down a bit. Today we had news from AVAV. That is, trying to remember the exact name for it. It's, I believe, AeroVironment. And they make a lot of the drones. They don't make the really big, expensive drones. They actually make lower costs. So, but they had a monumental gain, huge gain. The stock actually had closed the day today or yesterday at 95.29. And today it was, as this came out this morning, it was as high as 124.33, and the close, well, it's still trading post market at 116.63. That's up 21.34, or just under 23%. So pretty decent. As I mentioned, Apple had news from China, the government saying that they were not to use their iPhones or even bring them to the office for state business. So the stock, which closed 189.70 yesterday, traded as low as 181. Basically was down from the open about a dollar, continued all the way down to 181. The last is 182.49, and that's a substantial drop here. Down about $7, or about 3.75%. AMC has gone through their um, using the APE stock to get more shares of AMC. The stock closed 13.64. Remember, that's a 1 for 10. So now it costs 10 of those shares to get a share of AMC using your APE shares. However, AMC 884, down $4.80, or 36%. C3AI, symbol AI, with a beat top and bottom, but somewhat poor guidance. The stock was 31.46. After the news, it got down as low as 28.10, so about 3.25. Last on it is 29.43, down 203, or 6.4%. And last but not least, we also had earnings from ChargePoint. It was a surprise loss. The stock is 70 was 706.20 before the earnings. Got as low as 620, last 632, down 94 cents, or 13%. And that one is a very long way from from its recent highs. Building out the charging stations look like a home run, and the stock was as high as 49 and change. Now $6.20. That's pretty ugly. All right, folks, I'll be back first thing in the morning. Tomorrow being Thursday means we have claims. Let's see what else we have. Initial and continuing claims, Q2 productivity and unit labor costs. Those are before the open at 10:30. We have natural gas inventories. At 11 o'clock, we have crude inventories. Have a good evening, and hope you were in that trade in the SPSX.